On a more personal side, and relating to corruption in education, I had long discussions with a young Cambodian man, Sang Vani, my 23-year-old taxi driver during a trip to Siem Reap. He has only a primary school education, and he makes his living driving tourists to and from the airport for $8 each way. He could get a better job with more education, but he explained that to pass the tests, it would require about $1,200 to $2,000. Education in Cambodia is free, so I wasn't sure what he meant by that. Conversations with Lori Carlson, president of the Panhiri Lee Foundation, explained that the money Vanny needed was for paying bribes as well as for buying test answers. Vanny's situation is normal for most young Cambodians. Although school is compulsory, in the countryside where 88% of Cambodians live, some families simply cannot afford the opportunity cost of sending children to school and opt for extra working hands. As such, only about 75% ever enter first grade. Repeating grades is so common that it takes an average of 10 years to complete the 6th grade. If students do make it, just 23% of them go on to secondary school, and of those who remain, 17% go to high school. If we start with 100 Cambodian children, 75 of them get to first grade. 17 of them go to secondary school, and only 2 to high school. It should come as no surprise that a 2008 Gallup poll showed that 74% of Cambodians were dissatisfied with their government. Cambodia has more than doubled its per capita income over the past decade, from $285 in 1997 to $593 in 2007. Poverty was also reduced from about 50% in 1993-94 to 30% in 2007. This improvement has been accompanied by a profound transformation, integration into the global economy, a shift of jobs from agriculture to manufacturing, a demographic transition, and migration from rural to urban areas. Translating into jobs and better services, these outcomes have led to a reduction in poverty, as well as improvements in health and education. Even so, the next chapter of the story is uncertain. The photos you are viewing are from a garment factory outside Phnom Penh that assembles clothing for the Target Corporation. Cambodia's economy is fueled by the textile industry. 88% of Cambodia's exports are textiles. A U.S.-Cambodia trade agreement negotiated in 1999 linked progressive increases in quotas to improvements in labor standards as monitored by the International Labor Organization. One of the biggest economic challenges facing Cambodia is its lack of product diversification, and that most garment factories are cut-make-trim, the simplest part of the value chain. Even commodity exports are in the raw form, so for economic advancement, Cambodia will need to move itself up the value chain. Cambodia does have a fledgling IT sector. The Royal University of Phnom Penh is turning out about 500 IT graduates a year, but those graduates find little work. How much will an IT degree earn you in Cambodia? 150 to 200 US dollars per month. In the bigger picture, some 250,000 young Cambodians are entering the general job market each year, and polls indicate their expectations are rising. Regardless, it remains to be seen how big an impact the global recession will have on Cambodia. The International Monetary Fund predicts that Cambodia's growth will decline 0.5% in 2009. Prime Minister Hun Sen criticizes the calculation because it excludes microeconomies in calculating the nation's GDP. For example, in the March 9, 2009 Phnom Penh Post, Hun Sen said, quote, "If a family has grown 2 papaya trees and 2 banana trees and plants 4 or 5 eggplants for a daily living, this is a type of economic growth." The Cambodian Center for Studies and Agricultural Development agreed with Hun Sen that home garden yield does contribute to the national economy by creating jobs while reducing the cost of family income in rural areas. Although Cambodia has low corporate tax rates of 20%, foreign investors must be willing to provide infrastructure improvements as well as generate 1/3 of their power requirements. There are also layered processes. Given the prevalence of corruption, there are likely some palms to grease. Cambodia's Heritage Foundation 2009 ranking of 56.6 on a scale of 100 puts the country at number 106 of 183 in terms of favorable business environments. Its regional ranking is 21 of 41, leaving much room for improvement. Cambodia is a country with an unfortunate history. Most are young enough to have limited recollection of the killing fields. What they see perfectly clear, though, is the impunity and corruption that surrounds them. The Hun Sen administration is a sap on the nation's natural and economic resources, as well as being questionably involved in politically motivated assassinations that appear to be intended to oppress and intimidate. Nevertheless, Cambodia's economy is rebuilding. Some question the sustainability of that progress, given the lack of diversification and the low value chain contributions. Now that Cambodia is part of the world economy, it remains to be seen how it will be affected by the global recession. Its people, however, are resilient, optimistic, and happy, and want change. Will it take 30 more years?